Hey, JG, you faced the Jets obviously in the joint practices. Can you use any of that?
Yeah, we watched some of that tape. They obviously the tape from what they've been doing in games, but you start to see like how they try to attack different defenses, and then certain staple plays that they have that they were running, I'm sure, in training camp versus us and all the way out throughout the season. So we looked at that tape and had some good thoughts about how they were trying to attack us in those joint practices and in the game as well. So we looked at it.
They played four different quarterbacks this year. How much does their offense change with each guy in there?
You can see them, LaFleur, I think, does a good job of trying to tailor fit for what each quarterback's skill set is. Like, it looked a little bit different with Joe, with the other two guys playing, obviously with Zach now. But they have certain staples that show up from things that he likes to run that have been good plays for him. So, we've looked at, obviously, the entire year, but they play a little bit differently when Zach's in there. So just got to understand what he's comfortable doing and how they're trying to attack with him playing quarterback.
You guys are 30th in sacks per pass play, but you also in other analytics do well in terms of pressures. Do you have a metric that you measure the worth of one versus the other? Is it based upon how many yards you lose on sack versus how many you lose when you do generate a pressure? I mean, is there anything that and how do you justify one versus the other?
No, I wouldn't say that, Jeff. I mean, you look at it in totality, like, when in passing situations, are you affecting the quarterback in a positive way for us? And you do that a lot of different ways, and there's no one that wants sacks more than the D-line and us, because those are some splash, game-changing plays. It's a way to get off the field on third down. It's a way on first and second down to put them behind the sticks. And you're always trying to get them to known pass situations. But, I forget what we were on third down on Sunday. But, a lot of those third down stops, we didn't sack the quarterback, but we're affecting him in a positive way. So, like, off the top of my head, the first third down, we, run a little stun in there, and Fletch wins on the outside, and Sweaty wins on the outside, and the quarterback's throwing off his back foot with a guy in his lap, and it's an inaccurate pass. And that like, for as good as the coverage was, the play it's rush and cover and rush, like that affected the play, the rush, So I don't think, just measuring sacks is a good measure as far as like how's your defensive line affecting the game. So I think they're doing a good job, and hopefully we get some more production with sacking the quarterback at times, and there's a lot of different ways to do that, as you know.
That said, why do you think the pressure hasn't translated into sacks? There's been games where we've had good pressure, like you said, but it hasn't kind of converted into sacks.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of game plan specific things. How are you attacking, who they have blocking, protections, the routes behind it. Sometimes it's like, a deeper route where we have a couple guys one-on-one. Well, if you try to block some of our guys one-on-one for a long time, that's hard duty. There's other times where, we've sacked a quarterback where we're affecting a protection a certain way, and you get a couple more one-on-ones than what you're normally used to. So I think that our D-line's doing a good job with that, affecting the quarterback in a positive way. And and with us, for my standpoint, it's always looking at how can we set it up a little bit better, what looks do we need to give, how can we change the picture on the quarterback where you're forcing protection adjustments. I think that all bleeds into our guys having success with sacks. So ultimately it comes down to us, to myself,
Barnett wasn't on the field late in the game. What was the reason for that?
He had a little bit of I think he had a rib or something going on with his back. He tightened up, got hit maybe or something, so he was getting worked on the sideline.
When you talk about pass rush, JG, everybody likes to be disciplined, but I guess there's, I don't want to say freelancing, but there's certain coordinators, defensive lines that preach pin your ears back. Is discipline a big part of your plan when it comes to the pass rush?
Huge, yeah. I mean, especially, where you look at where the game is now. I mean, Daniel's a good one to he will gut you if you do not rush in a disciplined way. And, when you're playing coverage, certain coverages, you don't have a lot of guys looking at him. So, if he creases you because somebody gets out of their rush lane or you don't balance the rush the right way, or even with pressure is how the pressure gets balanced, those end up being explosive plays. So, yeah, like there's definitely a blend of, hey, cut your ears back and go and beat your guy. Oh, but by the way, you can't end up on this side of the center. You know what I mean? Even if you get the slide or vice versa, or for ends, like you can't turn in the corner is great, but if it comes at its 13 yards, that's no good for anybody. So there's always a blend of, winning your one-on-one matchup in a disciplined way. When we're 4-man rushing, 4=1, they have to be, cognizant of their rush lanes.
What is Wilson?
Good question. He's got a live arm, and he can move around in the pocket pretty well. I think he's doing a better job this last game, knowing where to go with the football a little bit quicker. And just like any high drafted rookie, there's going to be some learning that you see. Some games he doesn't look as good as other games, but this guy's a very talented guy. He can make all the throws. He's mobile. He is going to be a big time challenge.
How differently do you approach a rookie quarterback as opposed to a veteran?
Depending what schematic system you're kind of playing against, it's a little bit different. With them coming, it's a new system. A rookie quarterback, that's different than, you play Bruce Arians and Tom Brady, obviously. So, or even when they're playing with Joe, that's a veteran quarterback in a kind of year one new system, and so you tweak a little bit, how you're defending them, but. I would say for us, it ultimately comes down to the execution of us, not really what they do, what we do. So that's what we'll preach on this week.
And looking at the Jets briefly, Elijah Riley's become a starter there. Has made some plays for them. What was the process here in terms of 53, the practice squad, and was it tough to lose him when he did?
Yeah, I liked Elijah a lot. We all did, and it just comes down to those decisions being made by Howie and Nick. You got to balance a lot of different things, with the roster and special teams and who's up and a pair and a spare and all that stuff. So, it was tough to see him walk out the building because, obviously he's a good player, but we feel good about the guys that we have now.
They hit a couple 3rd and longs the other day up there. What did you see on those plays? And you guys have been pretty good on 3rd down. How much do those 3rd and 7s eat at you?
A little bit. I had a bad call into the one. We ripped the pressure into a screen. It's like typically it was really good by Barnett. Typically those score. Like when you see that pressure get ripped into a screen, like those are like house calls. So the hustle was really good on that to give us a chance, to keep battling. I think we almost got out of the drive there with a field goal. But, you always want to be higher. We say, what's good 3rd down defense? Get them to 3rd and longer because your percentages go up, and then it's the blend of, are you going to cover? Are you going to rush? You're going to bring 5, you're going to bring 6, you're going to bring 7, are you going to drop 8, So you saw us do that the one time. So, you'd like to get out of all of those, but, that's the game,
We've seen Fletcher maybe show up in the stat sheet a little bit more. I don't know if that is indicative of his performance. Do you think so? And do you think that has something to do with just getting more accustomed to what was originally, maybe he said, an issue for him, just playing two different spots?
Yeah, he's still playing some multiple spots for us. He's doing a good job. He's doing a really good job in the run game. He's really, you've heard me use the term train wreck a game. He has done that. When teams try to single block him in the run game, good luck. So, and then when they double him, that frees up other guys. And then I think in the rush, I think he's just doing a good job of winning his one-on-one matchup. And when he does get, chipped or bumped or the slide comes to him, he's doing a good job. And, Fletch is one of our premier players. And that's why I didn't really have a lot of concern when, he was still affecting the game in positive ways. You see the production start to go up. The production will continue to go up. And if he doesn't show up on the stat sheet, guys, he's affecting the game in a positive way. So that's what we need all our guys to do.
What have you seen from Milton Williams' development over the last few weeks?
He hasn't hit the rookie wall. We were laughing about that. I think Fletch was joking about it with those guys. You know, normally college guys, they're used to being done now. He's like, we got 6 more games plus playoffs, buddy. So pick it up. But he's, you know, what I love about Milton and all our rookies is, again, you've heard me talk about, like, they correct their mistakes and they're not repeat offenders. You know, Milton, you can't get cut out in this technique. You know, here's why you got cut out. This is what you have to do with your feet or your hands or your body. And you see him self-correct that, you know, and then you see it's awesome to see because, you know, we stack back to back to back, you know, plays. This is the same play in the same defense. This is what happened in week 12, and this is what happened this week. And look why you made the play, you know, or look why, because you did your job, your buddy made the play, you know. So I would say not making the same mistake over and over and over is what I'm most pleased with Milton about. And just his you know, his intensity, his football character, the motor that he plays with, and the production that you see that he's playing with right now. He's affecting the game for us.
The sample size has kind of gotten larger since you made the move to TJ Edwards. What has he brought to the defense at the second level there now that you've seen him out there for quite a bit?
Yeah, I mean, it's really, John, it's going to be the same answer kind of all the time. I mean, he's physical, he's in the right spot, he's extremely intelligent. What we asked the linebacker to do, the Mike linebacker, from a communication standpoint with the front mechanics, with the back 7 mechanics, we put a lot on his plate each week, and he handles it well. And, you know, he doesn't make mental errors. You know, he might miss a play every once in a while that, you know, 9 out of 10 people miss, you know, but his production is high right now, and, you know, he's playing good ball for us.